back, everybody. I'm Dara, founder of Network Under 40, and today we are discussing another question from one of you guys on how to better relationship build and network. And today's question is, any tips on how to beef up my LinkedIn profile and make it more relevant? And speaking of, what are your thoughts on being connected to people in your network on social media? So important these days since we are all interconnected all over social media and in the real world, and it can get a little bit confusing. So let's start with a general question. How do we decide and differentiate between friendships, professional relationships, and our social media contacts? At the end of the day, I think this really comes down to you and what your level of comfort is. But my bottom line is that I think you need to be truly and authentically the same person in every arena. So one of my foundational bottom lines is, if you won't post it on LinkedIn, maybe don't post it on Facebook. And while I understand they're entirely different universes and that you wouldn't post the pictures of your birthday on LinkedIn, what I mean is a little bit more broad than that. And it's just the flavor of it more than the actual content. And what I mean is that if you won't be one version of yourself in one environment, don't go being a different version of yourself somewhere else. So what I mean even more specifically than that is, I am friends on Facebook with people who I do business with, who I know professionally, who are my parents, who are my family, who are friends of my family, because I am unafraid of what I'm going to share there or what other people are going to share about me, because I am who I am. And I don't do anything that is so off the wall that I'm really worried that it's going to spoil or mess up my reputation in any other environment. So I actually think it's a beautiful thing that we live in an environment today where who we are in one world actually beautifully meshes and seeps in to the other worlds being professional and personal. Whereas in the past, you sort of took off your professional cap and put on your social cap, and you could be two entirely different people with no consequence or otherwise. But I think it's wonderful that we can be the same in all of those environments. So whereas I'm comfortable being friends with everyone on Facebook, as I am on LinkedIn, as I am on Twitter or Instagram, it's up to you to make that decision, but I'd say be truly and authentically the same person throughout all of those platforms. So to the second part of the question, or what was actually part A, how do you beef up your LinkedIn profile? First, complete it. I would venture to guess that the majority of you don't even have a fully complete LinkedIn profile. So in order to do that, here's some of the tips I'd say. One is have a great professional photo. Not one where you crop out the person next to you awkwardly and you can still see their arm. Not the one from you at a wedding where you're in a tuxedo. Not the one of you grainy where you can't even make out who you are and like maybe it was a mugshot. None of those photos. We want one that doesn't have to be like the Life Touch headshot from high school, but it's professional looking. It makes you seem approachable, friendly, professional. Doesn't give anyone pause to think, should I even consider engaging in any business dynamic with this person? Make that easy and not a question whatsoever. Step 2, have a catchy title. I don't just love the standard practice of position, comma, company. I prefer something like I help people to blank or looking for blank and making it relevant, engaging, exciting. Something I had back in the day, I still own this company but don't promote it as much anymore. I own a credit card processing company, and I used to say, doing no shady business at Equitable Payments or something like that. And I can't tell you how many people reached out to me and said, that's hilarious. Everyone in the merchant services business is shady. I love that you called that out. Have something that feels like it resonates with who you are and what you do, and it's still professional, but might get people's attention a little bit more than accountant at blank. Not so fun, not so interesting, doesn't stand out. Make sure also to get recommended. This is basically your living online resume. And whether or not you're looking for a job, I'm not, I hope to never have a job again. I love working for myself, but this is the thing that people can read about you and see about you without you having to say a word or speak for yourself. So make it look great and impressive because you are surely impressive. So get people to recommend you. Send them a quick note through the recommendation tab on LinkedIn and say, it would mean a lot to me if you could recommend me based on X experiences that we've had together. And most people would be more than happy to do it. And if you have the ability, return the favor and make a recommendation for them. Additionally, make sure you filled out all of your past work history and expand on it. Explain about what you did. Put relevant links. If you have articles to press you've been featured in, highlight it. Make yourself stand out and look like the accomplished person that you truly are. Another tip I have is to make sure that you're connecting with the people that you meet. I have a tool that I love for this. It's called Rapportive. In case that's not so easy to spell, it's Rapportive, and it's a plugin for anyone who uses Gmail and Google Chrome, where on the sidebar of your emails, anyone that you're communicating with, their social media profiles will pop up. In particular, all of their information on LinkedIn, including their picture, with buttons to automatically connect with them, and a window that'll pop up where you can just type a quick little note. Great to meet you at Network Under 40 last night. Looking forward to staying in touch. Send, you're connected on LinkedIn. Reason I love this, it's like a living, breathing CRM that you don't have to update because they are consistently updating it for you, and it's going to let you know when Joe has a new job or someone has a piece that they were quoted in the press, and it gives you a really seamless and effortless way to reach out to them and say congratulations, or I am heading to your city, would love to reconnect because you did a quick search and said, oh look, you're in Orlando, I'm heading to Orlando next week. Any of these things make it so simple for you to continue to engage in these relationships. Another tip, keep your profile open. Keep everything open. You want people to be searching for something and find you and be able to find what they're looking for and reach out to you without feeling like they get stuck behind the barricade of, I can just see his or her picture and title, and that's it. Let them see you. There's nothing to hide on LinkedIn, in my opinion. And lastly, share relevant information. This is not a place to use like your Facebook timeline where you post whatever random thought you're having or whatever picture you're having from that day or that week. But it is the place to post relevant content. So if you're an expert in a certain field or you're trying to become one, share content that maybe isn't as well read by everyone, and people will appreciate that you shared it, and they're going to pay more attention because in the future they're going to be looking out for other interesting information that you know and maybe they don't. And it only continues to elevate you and your status in other people's minds. And even if that's not what you're looking for, it just keeps you top of mind for other people, because at the end of the day, if people don't remember you and you don't remember them, you're irrelevant. And I mean that with no sense of pain or hurt or disrespect, but it's just as simple as that. So take advantage of the tools that are so simple to use and are at our disposal. So I look forward to seeing your LinkedIn profiles. If you have questions about them, check out mine, Dara Brustein, on LinkedIn, and I'll talk to you next time.